to my final presentation of this class. My name is Anna Chibisova, and I will be doing a presentation on Reshma Saujani. So a little bit about Reshma Saujani. She is a leading activist known for creating movements that fight for women and people of color. Her two most well-known organizations are Girls Who Code and, more recently, Marshall Plan for Moms. She has written 5 different books, given speeches and interviews with educational content, as well as views on her movements. Reshma currently lives in New York with her husband and 2 children. She serves on the board of overseers for Harvard University. She is also on the board for the International Rescue Committee. She has also been on the board of trustees for the Economic Club of New York and the Museum of Modern Art. On top of that, she has served as New York City's Deputy Public Advocate, and Reshma Saujani is an extremely powerful woman and influential, and she is a great example of a successful manager. So a little bit more about Reshma Saujani. She graduated from the University of Illinois for political science back in 1997. Then she graduated from Harvard University with a master's in public policy in 1999. And then she graduated from Yale Law School as a Juris Doctor in 2002. She started up her career as a Democratic organizer and a political attorney. Reshma is known as the first Indian American woman that ran for the United States Congress. Her hard work and dedication has put her on lists like the Fortune World's Greatest Leaders, Fortune 40 Under 40, the Wall Street Journal magazine, Forbes Most Powerful Women Changing the World, Fast Company 100 Most Creative People, City and State's Rising Stars, Business Insider's 50 Women Who Are Changing the World, Ad Age's Creativity 5, and so many more. So a little bit about her organization, Girls Who Code. Reshma Saujani is the founder. It is a nonprofit organization, and it started back up in 2012. She noticed that there were few women in the computer science program as she toured schools, and then she did more research and found out that the gender gap has only been getting worse since the 70s. She had been the CEO of the organization for 9 years before she stepped down and decided to continue her career in advocating for other women in different fields. Girls Who Code has summer programs, specialized campus programs on colleges, school clubs all over the country. The organization has worked with over 500,000 girls, women, and non-binary people from any background, including low-income families, Black and Latinx communities. Their values are to enhance bravery, create a sisterhood, and fight for activism. So her newer organization, Marshall Plan for Moms, she is the founder and current CEO of the organization, but has recently been renamed Moms First. The company had launched back in January 2021. The movement helps mothers who have been forced out of the workforce due to the pandemic because they had to stay home and they had to take care of their children. 1.1 million women are still out of the labor force even as the pandemic has ended. And the ones that are back, they make significantly less than their male counterparts. These moms' mental health have also been depleting dramatically since the end of the pandemic. The company is working toward creating paid leave for them, childcare, changing the way motherhood is valued in the United States, organizing workplaces to work at a better schedule for women all around. A few extra facts about Reshma. She led her first march back when she was just 13 years old. She has had more miscarriages than she could count due to an autoimmune disease that she found out about later in life, but this has not let her stop from continuing her work. She has been nominated for the Shorty Award for Best in Education and has won the Harold W. McGraw Jr. Prize in Education Award. In 2004, in the presidential election, she founded the organization South Asians for Carrie. In 2008, she served on the National Finance Board for Hillary Clinton during her campaign for president. In 2008, Reshma was named vice chair of the New York delegation. So, lesson 1 that I went over is the human relations movement. So, when hiring people to work for her, Reshma hires people who follow the theory Y assumptions that we learned about in the human relations movement section in chapter 2. This movement was developed by Douglas McGregor. Theory Y explains that people don't naturally dislike working. It's part of who they are. What is important about this theory is that people are internally motivated to reach some kind of objective as long as they're committed to it and they receive some kind of personal award in order to reaching that goal. Reshma does not ever want to hire somebody who purposefully does not want to work. She wants her team to have ambition in what they're doing and ambition in her organization's movements. If they aren't the right fit and they don't want to work, Reshma will not hire them. So the second lesson that I compared Reshma to is our basic elements of planning and decision making. Another tactic that Reshma and all managers for that matter is planning and decision making. So you could find this in chapter 7, a planning process chart that shows the web flow of a typical organization when it comes to planning and decision making. So when it comes to her organizations that she runs, she works hard to create these long-range plans that will continue to outlive her and move on past her. They will continue to follow her original company mission and values. Her organization goals are motivated by her own life experiences, and this gives her a great source of commitment to creating, planning, organizing, and running the company that she is running at that time. The third lesson that I went over is the managing strategy and strategic planning. So in the managerial style of Reshma Saujani, she follows a focused strategy. This means that she is creating an organization that concentrates on a specific regional market, product line, or group of buyers. Her market has typically been women who need a bit of help to get further in life. For example, the Marshall Plans for Moms targets moms who are out of the workforce or who need extra help with childcare, and Girls Who Code to help girls and women to learn how to code in order to succeed more in life. Her plan chosen and implemented to support specific goals are deliberate strategies. Her organizations also follow a single product strategy where the organization manufactures just one product or service. So again, for example, Girls Who Code, it's an educational company. It offers books, classes, workshops, but overall its one true service is teaching women to code. So in her shoes, so if I ran a company like Reshma does, I think that the company would be so strong. She is extremely passionate about what kind of organization she creates and manages. She, again, creates them for whatever life experiences she went through, so they really have a deep meaning to them. She is very passionate, and she chooses the same extremely passionate people to work under her. creating a company of willing people to follow core values and see the good in her work. Her deliberately made long-range focused strategies benefit the people in her companies. I think that this is very honorable, a very honorable way to work, and I would be so proud of myself and my team if we would be able to accomplish something like this. She is an inspirational, powerful, and influential manager. So finally, I have all of the sources on each of the slides that I use. I also listen to a lot of interviews of hers through Spotify podcasts. I have a whole slide dedicated to the exact name I found these Spotify playlists, these Spotify interviews with. And we have a final links page, of course. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation, and that's the semester.